What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a whole bunch of Japanese stuff that we picked up on a recent live episode of our podcast. If you guys were there, you remember that we checked out Asian Portal, Digitaka, and we looked at a couple other shops like Japan Lure Shop and other things. Basically, we were looking for direct from Japan.
So JDM, Japanese domestic market.
We were trying to get the direct stuff from there because then you can save some money. It's been recommended to us 1,000 times in comments before. There are maybe some pros and cons to this whole thing, so don't come yelling at us. We're simply testing something that people in the comments asked us to test.
Yep.
Now, here's the interesting thing. Before we get into it, we found out that Asian Portal does not deliver to the state of Michigan.
Weird.
Because they don't like the Mitten State. Because there's not enough salt water.
What did we do to you?
I don't know what we did. We're like literally America's high five. And they're like, nope.
We're just a kind place to store fresh water.
So the things we found online when we were on the live, we could not order. So we found as many things that we could from that order on Digitaka, and we ended up ordering from there. They didn't have all the stuff, so if you saw us like looking at a really cool swim bait, I think there was one from G-Crack that we wanted to get.
One color.
It was on Asian Portal. It was not available on Digitaka. We didn't get it. But we did get a bunch of other really cool stuff.
Yeah, I think what we learned is that there's some nuances in things like shipping, calculating price, and availability between some of those sites. I think that's the... As you're shopping, that was a big part of it. On my part, at least, there was some... I have trouble recommending something where if I feel like there's like danger to your personal information, right? So I don't want to send you to a website where I feel like maybe you could get hacked. I'm not saying that this could happen or not. It's something that I was a little bit, again, uncomfortable about recommending to people. So well, that remains to be seen if we have any issues. We don't expect to, but again...
Not yet. Fingers crossed.
All fingers and toes. Please keep them crossed for me. But yeah, so
let's be real. If you go to Digitaka right now and you go check it out, you're going to look at that website and be like, ooh.
Yeah,
okay.
it looks like a magazine from 1997 that you would order like computer components for.
That's how they save all their money. They never updated their website, ever.
So right, wrong, or indifferent, that is part of the deal. That's how this happens. And it's important to call that out because there are implications for how you spend your money. So if you're somebody who likes to buy domestic and support American, you're not doing that by buying direct from Japan. So it's just important to call out.
Without further ado, let's get into the actual tackle and a reel that we picked up.
The
reel you have to wait for. We're looking at tackle first.
Aw, boo.
And we're starting with plastics. One thing that I haven't been able to get my hand on anywhere because...
There's only one place that I've been able to get it consistently, and that has been Bait Finesse Empire. That's where I got 2 packs of these.
And these are larger than those.
They are bigger.
So we ended up getting the 5.2 inch. This is the Drift Fry Mellow from Jackall. And I'm stoked about this. Paul has had a smaller version of this that he has. Did you use them this year?
I did not.
He did not use, but he has, which is, you know, classic us. Too many things to be able to use.
It's hard.
But check this out. So if you guys haven't seen the Drift Fry before, it is actually a little plastic swim bait here that has a lip to it. And this one is designed for strolling. So it's
strolling?
Strolling?
With your pup? With yourself?
Yep. You can go for a stroll with your Drift Fry.
With your Drift Fry. But that also has a tail.
Yep, that has a tail. That is flat. They do have a version of this that actually has a paddle tail as well. We did not grab that one. And I ended up getting this one in, what color is this?
Color's cool.
Some Japanese name.
Can't read.
I don't know. Some gold color. It's pretty great.
It is really cool. This reminds me a lot of like something that I think you folks down in Tennessee would be like, this would be your go-to. Yeah. So like for us, that like...
It's kind of a shiner color, but we got 5 in the pack here. They ain't cheap, and they're hard to find. A lot of Jackall products actually are hard to find, especially domestically.
They're really good. The demand for them is super high.
Even on Digitaka, Asian Portal, we were looking for a baby Giron, the little tiny swim bait for BFS fishing, because Paul doesn't have one. I have one only because RAR Fishing gave me one when we were in Florida.
Yeah. Thanks, RAR.
So, yeah. It's a sick little swim bait, but yeah, they're unavailable literally everywhere, which is great. I'm excited to try this out. I'm going to need a bigger strolling hook than I have.
Yes, you are.
I didn't buy from Digitaka. I'm going to go find some.
Well, that's why I have Bait Finesse Empire, because they do carry a ton of really quality, like they were one of the first ones to have these, but they carry a ton of really quality product that has been tested and improved for this kind of stuff. So that's where I would go.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we have Fact. I didn't realize the Fact was in there. I don't even know. Is that the brand? I don't even know.
Evergreen is the
Evergreen is the brand, right? But we've got the Gizmo. So these things are freaking wild. Here, you want to open one up?
Yeah, they are. These are not cheap either, and they are usually hard to find. I think they did just get added to Tackle Warehouse. So after I placed this order, I was like, oh, you can just get them here
like
too.
right after.
But we got them a little bit cheaper on Digitaka.
We sure did.
And, oh, I never put the lid on my drift fries. My fries are open.
Why are your fries open?
My fries are open. They're getting cold.
So here's your gizmo. We went with pink and this crazy green color.
Yeah.
Show them the green.
Look at that. So we got a flashy green. And the cool thing about this, actually, to me, is that they're like specifically really good for smallmouth. Yeah. And I found that out from the boys over at this place.
Ashigan. Wait, hold on. Ashigan. Try again. Ashigan. Slow-mo it.
Editor. So I met the Ashigan boys for the first time at Kayak Adventure Series last year. They're a really cool group of folks that make some really cool apparel, and they actually are extremely good at smallmouth fishing.
Yeah, their team absolutely knocks them dead on a minute-to-minute basis.
But they busted out a box of their favorite smallmouth baits, and lo and behold, this was in there. It was right at the top, specifically in pink and a few other colors. So I'm excited to try it out. Fishes top water.
Yes.
And it has that little brush guard just to keep debris out of its way.
And you got these little really Arnie boys right here to give it a little action. And obviously you get the trailing action. Hook is underneath. It is all embedded. You are not going to re-hook this. And there is this brush guard, upside down brush guard, which I think is really cool, but it's super duper finessey. Very cool, very expensive. These come in a 1-pack.
Yep.
Ouch.
For like $9.
Tie a great knot. use good line and tie a great knot.
It floats, and it's made out of durable materials. It's like a TPE.
So
I believe
you do you get a nice but and there's not much to break. I mean, and realistically, if these came off, I actually need to get if there's something to break,
just wait.
We're gonna break it. But I would say you can also re-thread these. I need to get one of those little like bobbin threader deals because you can make your own fuzzy dice and stuff. And I've never done it. I really need to. So yeah, I need to get one of those. Maybe I'll do that while we're done with this video, but pretty sweet.
All right, next up we've got a Imakatsu, actually a couple from Imakatsu here today.
Imakatsu.
But the Imakatsu metal mouse, which you can see when I zoom in, it's got shredder lips.
Shredder. I like that.
It's the shredder.
I love how intensely they are like aware of shredder. Like they're aware of other bad guys, like sort of like, oh, the foot's here, but then they're like shredder. The early 90s Ninja Turtles is unmatched, baby.
Yep. So here's the metal mouse up close, and you can see why I called it shredder lips.
We should have called it the shredder mouse.
It's like sharp too. So the metal mouse is very metal. And has these crazy metal lips,
the metal mouse,
at the front. And it comes with a premium snap clip up there as well. So you can tie your line, and that line's not going to get cut by the metal, which is nice.
Super important.
Because if you just tie direct there,
I
have a feeling, especially if you're running like mono or, you can't do fluoro with this, but if you're running mono, like it might get chipped up a little bit. But
you know what I was thinking of in that scenario is like Batman's little arm spikes. Like he's got to just be absolutely shredding his like his Batmobile inside.
Right?
Like you think he just walks around like
elbow on an armrest,
stuff? Like I have a drink. Pff, no, I don't.
He's like stuck in the mid console. All right, so metal mouse, top water. Kind of a walk-in bait. So it's got these little vents in there as well. So I'm assuming water is like bubbling or splashing through there, or
it's just like moderating
changes the movement.
Yeah. Look,
I'm excited about it.
And look, a lot of times when you're buying like domestic baits, like U.S. domestic, that's a knocker. That's
a knocker.
You get the description. You get like the package details, kind of give you some things like, hey, try fish it this way. This is what you should be looking for. This is what's unique about this bait. With JDM, it's all in like Japanese, and so you end up like having no idea what's going on. Yes, I know you're excited. So you gotta kind of guess a little bit and figure some stuff out. That is insane.
It's got tails.
It has a super tail.
Where it plugs into the butt. Check it out.
I'm sure it does.
Hang on.
No. Oh, wow. No, it really does. Holy crap.
I thought I was lying.
One other thing to call out, with a lot of JDM baits, like the attention to detail is like super high. Not only on the paint schemes, but there's actually like all of the fur is textured. Like this is all textured. Like you don't see that on a lot of domestic baits nearly as much. Like that's pretty cool.
Okay, so this tail threads through like this.
Oh,
I got it. It goes through the top.
Through the butt.
And you pull it down through the bottom.
Out the
Can I show this on
No,
camera?
just show it and just be like, I'm not gonna say what this is, but you know what it is. You have that.
I don't know if I can show this on YouTube, but
Well,
now it has a tail.
You saw it.
There you go. The treble's gonna be.
You have to cut that off.
hang on. Censored.
Censor that. Do that.
And there we go.
Why?
This has been the most entertaining bait.
Why are we 3?
I can tell you why. All right, so now we have a tail on this sucker. Look at that thing.
Sure do.
All right, cool. I don't know how that's going to work with this rear treble.
It's cool, man. Honestly, that's really cool. It's top water. It's interesting that it is.
I wonder
really...
if you take the rear treble off when you use the tail.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Read the instructions.
This is what I was talking about. Like when all the tips tricks are in Japanese, you either have to go find someone else that's used it and
I'll Google it.
Get the English version.
Yep.
Or you have to just experiment. So in this case, yeah, you probably take the treble off, the back treble off when you're using the tail, and vice versa. When the tail is off, you still get your treble.
I like that. I kind of want to go the finesse route. So we'll just take split ring pliers. We'll pop this off. And you just have this one main hook that you're using.
That's pretty cool.
And then if you don't want to do that, you just yoink the tail out. And then you put your rear treble back on. And it acts as like a typical topwater lure that we're used to. That is a really cool bait.
Cool meese.
By the way, I should call this out that this was 100% recommendations from chat on our live.
Good point.
So if you're ever on our live, you can basically pick what we review here on the channel.
Tell me what to spend my money on.
Help us.
Yes,
please.
That too.
All right, next up, let's do this crazy thing.
Oh.
This was definitely a chat recommendation. It's called the Helter Twister. This one also coming from Imakatsu. Love fish for life is their slogan, by the way.
Me too. Oh,
got it. So this is a ½ ounce. The color is #ZX-039.
Yeah, I think these colors were hashed pound 14.
Pound 14? Like, pound sand.
Number 14. See it like right up there? Like what the heck?
Oh, what? That swings. Bruh.
That's wild.
Look at this thing.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what you have is a mini A-rig with just the singular hook situation, but it also has another spot you can maybe do like a trailer or extra flash or something. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to tell me.
They're going to be like, it's a line tie.
Previously, we unboxed this from the Hookup Tackle.
Right there.
You can see that little tie in there?
There's 2 of them.
Yep. So you put hooks on that. Trebles.
Not flash.
Not flash. But I say, why not? You could. Stop me.
Okay, I will.
All right, but cool thing about this, it's got like this hinge.
That's awesome.
With all that flash there. So as you're running the bait, it's going to kick up because these blades will have resistance in the water. But it's got free movement.
That's bonkers.
Yeah,
so when you catch a fish, that's helping you a little bit too.
There's your jig head. It's got a super flat bottom section there, probably helping it run straight. And then again, you tell me what this tie-in point is for, if it's added flash or a stinger hook or whatever. And then, the skirt.
Silicone, I think.
Silicone and
big and
seems
small
durable.
pieces. So look at the difference in the strips. This is what, again, like there's a lot of detail in these baits. Like this is obviously intentional, right? So very cool.
Yep. Tied up, good bait keeper, stout hook, stoked.
Also,
that's going to be fun to fish.
Not a cheap bait. Next up, probably one you've seen before, but the Deps Tiny Bullshooter. Very, very cool. So this is the slow sinker, non-rattle, and this is the 100mm 1 ouncer. Those are your stats, in case you're curious.
This one is the one that I wish I bought 3 of.
Well, we talked about this. These were
2 for me, 1 for Paul.
Obviously. Well, 1 for my son to hook himself. These were obviously pretty expensive, but this is also one of the ones that had a very limited color set. There were really only like maybe 2 that we really were like, that's the one.
And the others were fluorescent, and it just doesn't work for us.
They were a lot. They were a whole bunch. This is, but
we always do better with more natural or muted colors.
We have a lot of clear water. We don't get a lot of that super dark stained water, and just in general, even our chartreuses, they're usually moderated by white. This is super nice. Holy smokes.
This is the one I'm most excited about in this whole kit.
Yeah, so you get very hard rubber tail, and also the fins are molded. So this is the only part that is that hard rubber. But you can see, I lied. These little guys are
movable fins?
Yes, this is what I'm talking about. Like when you look at the detail on some of these. Here, let me try and I'm gonna flare one out.
It's got those really nice finessey swimbait hooks too.
Yeah, look at those bad boys are flaring out, and then you get the little glider down there. So molded, and then soft rubber, and then that harder but soft rubber, and then there is I wonder if that's a weight.
So it's got a smiley face.
It does.
It says, "Cheers, mate. I'm gonna go catch you a bunch of fish."
Oi, boy.
But yeah, this is a pretty cool translucent bluegill type pattern. They get this purple for us in colder weather. So when they have like spring, fall, we have like that purple really gets pronounced. So this is gonna look really natural this spring.
And that gets like a blue green in the middle of this in the summertime.
So that thing is pretty heckin' cool. Pretty tight movement on it as well.
But for 1 ounce, I think that makes sense. And you get really premium hooks. Those are nice hooks.
Was it 1 ounce?
It's perfect, honestly.
Ah! All right, I did it. I win. What do I win? I'll get the D-hooker that you just got.
I was about to say, I'll go get the D-hooker and we'll find out.
That's all right. It was just on the surface.
I love that. That's super cool, babe. That was one of the ones. But honestly, can I do the big boy?
Dibs. All right. Next one.
Well, we're gonna fight. We're gonna have to have a battle because
one of us. We're
we're
gonna try all of these together and like alternate as long as we don't.
And I'll end up with all of them, right? So we got
cool.
So this is the Macon single joint Jackall. I hate to say glide bait because it's got a lip on it, but glide / swim bait. I'll go with large swim bait.
All right. So this is the 180 SF for slow float. So slow floating, 1.7 ounces and 180 millimeter body size.
They really. Oh, what in the fart! You're not ready.
I'm not
ready. So first of all, the level of protection. That's what I'm talking about. That was inside the packaging. They also tied it into the packaging right there, and they have this taped. It's not even. It's in addition to like all the buttons.
That just slid off.
I was trying to cut it off and it just came right off.
It just slid off.
That is a lot of packaging. All right, I'll show you. There's a plot twist.
Yep.
There's a bait twist.
A literal twist.
A literal twist. So here's your bait. Big lip, beautiful paint job. The paint job.
It looks great.
Spectacular. You get your dress trebles, very large trebles too.
Yeah.
These are bigger than I really would have expected them to be.
It's a honking bait.
Look at that. The soft tail's crazy. You do not get an extra. So no extra on that one.
You're going to have to buy that one.
I don't think you need one. It's got a good amount of stretch to it, and you're not damaging it. It's not going to take a lot of damage.
We got to buy the hookup tackle.
Break. We're buying the bento box. All right, so we got the new bento box coming in the mail at some point. These are the custom ones from the hookup tackle. Super cool. Here's the plot twist. Literal twist. What just happened? This is like an owl's neck. You can just like go all the way around. Obviously, these are independent. You're not losing a fish for sure. I'm really interested to see the action. Let me zoom in. There's a really, here, get the light just right. There's a very intense, there, you can kind of see it right there. A very intense swivel, super high quality. Don't pull too hard because I've been hooked already. This bait is nuts. I really.
Whoa!
I think
Whoa!
Okay.
That's pretty nuts.
Until you fish this, there's really no way to know what this is going to do in the water.
Like, is the tail just going to go like.
But like the tail's so soft. Like, I wonder, like, is it going to fish upside down? Like, I'm really interested to see how it's going to work.
I have literally no idea. I'm excited about it. I mean, because the line tie is here, the front's not going to roll, but the back is.
I don't know. I think though maybe that's why they're big hooks.
I don't know.
Let's find out. Dude, that's so sick. I cannot wait.
Last one, then we're going to the reel, but we did pick up the OSP, the Picro 68. So floating. It reminded me a lot of the Temco Glimmer,
which is like a hover strolling bait. That is already set up to hover stroll. You don't have to like do anything crazy or rig it up.
Tie that on and run that bad boy. Look, it's got a lip on its head. It looks like that, what's that dinosaur that has like the little fin?
Triceratops?
No. Well, yes, but this one doesn't have horns. There's another one. Remember the show Dinosaurs?
I do know exactly. And it has it's like a heart shape almost.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Triceratops, no horns.
Triceratops, no horns. You get it. All right, so we got super finessey hooks there. There's a little fin at the back, and then you got this crazy lip on the head, looking like a dinosaur of some sort. And then you got your split ring up here where you're going to tie on. Really cool bait. If you've never run anything like this, I would recommend it.
Well, I would like to try. It looks really cool.
Yeah. So you have the Glimmer,
7.
6 or 7?
7.
7, all right. So we're going to put the two head to head. I think they perform a little bit differently, but similar concepts.
There is something about like getting baits from Japan. They just have a really unique way of designing baits and looking at fish. And they make cool stuff, and it's so different than what we fish. Like Deps and OSP, they never miss. Never. It's so cool. Jackall, like they just don't miss. It's so cool. So, sometimes it's the only place you can get this stuff, and it is what it is.
Like this. You can't get this
I'm sorry,
in the States.
Too much glare. What is it?
So we got the Scorpion DC. This is the 151XG.
What's DC stand for?
Don't click
Don't
on this
chip?
video.
Hey!
Dumb chip. District of Columbia.
Digital control.
There we go.
What an idiot!
See, I didn't want to be dumb on the internet again for the 50th time.
I'm adding all of this in. Stays in the flake.
Hey, you know what? Thank God for Siri.
Yep. Thank God for Siri. Appreciate you, lady.
Yep. The Google AI is way better though.
There's not a question.
Not
a question about
my
it.
wife has a Google-based phone.
Yeah, it's not. There's
so
no
much
question.
smarter.
Well,
it'll just
you have
tell
the new
you
one
everything.
too. You have the new one too.
I have the new Apple AI, and it's not as good as Google.
Pooper.
All right, so there is the Scorpion DC. Paul, what does DC stand for that we totally knew before asking Siri?
I thought it was digital chip. It's digital control.
Digital
so
control.
Siri confirmed for us.
As he was saying digital chip, I remembered
Being like, that's
comments
not right.
being like, you dum-dums.
Hey.
I learned this years ago. I didn't remember.
I'm wrong all the time.
I remembered that I was wrong.
I'm wrong all the time. This is not new.
So Scorpion DC, this is actually more of like saltwater based is what we've been told. I've never used it. This is the 2021 model, and that's one of the things you'll find on Digitaka is you can get a lot of like 2020 to 2024 models, like the older models. You can get them at a massive discount.
I just got the Shimano XTDC, the 2021 with the 5th gen chip in a separate order.
And we're excited to try that out too. So expect some more like real comparison videos. But Scorpion DC is just supposed to be like built like a brick house. And hopefully it's going to hold up because I'm going to put it on one of my heavy setups.
Can we look at this bad boy?
I'm using this to basically swap out with my Abu Garcia Revo SX.
First of all, Scorpion knob. Can I get this in? Oh, look at that.
Look at that sucker.
Sick.
Yeah.
It has the almost, is that the Aldebaran shape? Take it all back. It's the same as the Corrado, the shape, which is really cool. So this this being the Corrado, this being the Scorpion, they got the same body shape. And even the same, very similar side plate styling. And that is the DC2. So direct comparison. You get your control knob. You can dial this a little bit. It's supposed to be as simple as possible, right? But you do need, there's some nuance there.
So if you haven't used a DC before, there's usually like 3 settings. And on this one, there's actually an open spool setting. So it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, and W, which I'm going to say stands for wind.
I got 5 looks. And that's it.
But that's it. And then it's got an open setting. And that is actually what I found out is the only way to take the side plate off.
That's for your good luck, Chuck.
Yep. So the side plate does not come off otherwise, but there's a peak at the spool. There's also 3 settings on the inside. And again, I know nothing about this. I'm going to look it up. And by look it up, I mean you're going to tell me in the comments. And then I'm going to do that. But FNP. And there's a little slider adjuster on top there as well. You never used this reel before. I know a bunch of you guys that watch the channel that you have used this. So any recommendations on setup for this, I'm open to. And maybe even what combos you're putting this reel on for yourself. So there's the Scorpion DC inside, and there's the Corrado.
So different for sure. Not the same at all.
So the Corrado DC has no adjustment on the inside, but the Scorpion does.
Yeah, it looks like...
So somebody tell me something about that.
We are not like the reel experts. I think we've acknowledged many times, like we've used a lot of reels. We have like the sort of like layman's, your general fisherman's opinion on stuff and things like weight, fishability, all that. But we're not the real people. Like I'm not a technical expert. We're not a real. Throughout the season, you'll see that up against the Corrado, maybe even like some of the like casking type models that have like not necessarily chip control, but like a really high-end sophisticated magnetic control that's really meant for the same type of thing, but is a little cheaper. And then we'll put that up against the SLXXT DC as well.
It's a lot of letters.
It's a lot of letters.
All right, you guys, there we go. That is the order straight from Japan. We used Digitaka for that. You can check it out for yourself. So far, no issues. We were concerned about the website, but it came through fine. I will say at this point in the video, I should have called this out earlier, the packaging on point.
Well, this is all going like via like what, ocean container, and so every single square centimeter that you can pack those in is important. That's how one of the other ways they keep the cost down. And so they literally cubed this thing up to a T.
They took all these random packages, slotted together into a perfect cube, which went into a perfect size box.
Like Wally made it.
It was
Boink,
literally
send it.
So it was really well packaged. It actually came to the house really fast, and I didn't have any issues other than the fact that Asian Portal would not ship to us. With Digitaka, I didn't really have any issues with that. All right, that's all we got for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see how this stuff holds up out on the water. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next video. Okay, bye.